You know, I'm not completely convinced that Turlock, California exists, but I've been told that. Now, wait a minute. Mike Gallaway, always the man, has come prepared to show us that, yes, indeed, as we look in California.
Turlock, California, right there by Modesto, and right in that area, some of the finest farming in America.
Where every corner has a pulling sled and every gasoline station has alcohol for the pulling trucks. We've got some great action for you tonight. We'll hope you'll stay tuned for the USHRA Budweiser Hot Rod Truck and Tractor Pull Championship Series, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks. It's brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged, for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Back at the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum, I'm Ken Broo. Mike Gallaway is with me, and we're ready to go here with the Super Stock competition. Mike Gallaway, quickly, the difference between the Super Stocks and the Modified.
These are a lot of fun. They're 460 cubic inches, one carburetor. They must run a DOT, a Department of Transportation recognized tire. They weigh 5,500 pounds. They've got a 24-inch hitch height. They're pretty close to stock. Motor changes are allowed on the inside. All the safety equipment, Ken.
Here we go, the Miracle Maker with Jerry Litchfield and the saddle. Oh, put your hands on the television set and expect a miracle.
Boy, it will happen tonight. That's a great pull. They're going to see if they'll accept that pull or drop back 3 places. I think he's going to take it. That's a great pull to start things off tonight.
Jerry, with the strap undone, will now back out of the hitch. 74 Ford. Mike told you what they can max out at. His engine a bit smaller at 429. Do you believe in miracles? Well, if you're Jerry Litchfield, you must. 174 feet 4 3/4 inches. That is the pull that has set the standard. Backing in for a run at it. Here is the Gator Special 2. Eric Rossman, not too far down the road here from Glendale. 79 Ford, 460 under the hood, as you can see. And Mike, look at the size of those tires. They seem almost like toy tires.
They're very small tires. I've watched this man pull recently, and he gets a good bite with a little bitty tire on it, which also changes his gear ratio around a little bit.
Almost seems like a tire you'd put on a kid's car, you know that?
Well, he gets the job done with this. Of course, he's maxed out 460 cubic inches. That's the most allowed in this class. And of course, the exhaust has to exit out the bottom of the truck.
Gator Special 2 has got the hitch, and he's on his way.
Things are gonna happen, and it did. Brought it to a halt.
You can tell that he was struggling because the box on the sled barely moved at all. Let's watch the wheel do its thing. More RPMs, I would think, for this smaller wheel than a bigger one.
Turns the little tires pretty hard. Tries to get a good bite with them. I think it gets a good bite. Okay, Ken, look at the box coming up the ramp. Now, it's just getting over the rear tires. That box is set in gear at the start of the class. It will go the same distance up the ramp for each puller. No matter how fast you go, it will always be at the same spot at the 100-foot mark.
Well, the Gator Special 2 not doing Gator Special 1 any great service. 136 feet and 2 inches. It will not even be close to the lead. We are in Phoenix, Arizona. This is the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. The Phoenix Suns call this place home. They play hockey here occasionally, but tonight it is the roar and the thunder of pulling power. Great lineup of trucks tonight as we continue on in the Super Stock competition. And next out of the chute will be Alan Carungo from right here in Phoenix. 57 Chevy, kind of a romantic year for Chevy trucks. Just Casual is the name of the truck. A 402 BB. What does BB stand for?
Big block.
Okay.
Rat motor in a Chevrolet. Short wheelbase truck. Runs a DOT tire, but has cut the tires to get a bar action out of them. Seems to work pretty good for him. You see the lug been cut out a little bit, so it'll kick the mud out of him as he goes down the track. But he's got to really hook hard out of the hole.
and just shy of 150 feet.
Wasn't getting a whole lot of bite that time, Ken, with the rear tires. Front seemed to be hooking up real good, but the back seemed to be skating a little bit. Even though the box was coming up, transferring that weight onto the pan and making it harder to pull, he just couldn't get enough bite out of the rear tires. See, you get a pretty good bite. Look at the dirt coming up off the front tires. The back tires seems to be where he's in his weakest position. Needed to get a little more bite off of them. Of course, that's something you just comes as time goes along in this pulling game. You learn all about it. This is a good place to start in the Superstock class.
Be interesting to see how well the track holds together tonight. As we mentioned from time to time, the dirt here, indigenous to the area in Arizona, you would think it would be from right out in the desert, but it seems to be coming apart rather quickly now as we move on in the Superstock competition.
It's almost 100% sand, Ken. There's lots and lots of sand in it.
There, the measurement for Alan Karuga, 141 feet, 9 1/4 inches for just casual. No jacket required tonight. Well, take a look at this, honey. Look at this, a 53 Dodge Military. This is the old timers. Arnold Hudson behind the wheel, Camp Verde, Arizona, 53 Dodge 455 under the hood. Well, you gotta love the way that looks. Look at the fan.
It's a little electric heat fan, and it kicks on. Blows air through the radiator no matter whether you're going down the track or not.
Is that central air? Is that what that is?
That is definitely central air. Under the hood, something you don't see, and it's pulling.
Is that rats powering this thing?
455 cubic inch Oldsmobile.
That's right, an Oldsmobile engine is a rare commodity here on the truck pulling circuit, but it's good enough for Arnold Hudson.
Hey, this guy is a great person to be around. Happy, so affectionately known in this sport. He's won it here several times before. He's always a threat in this class. Let's see if Pappy puts it together tonight. Come on, Pappy. Not in any hurry, but really making good ground. Box rolling up on him. It's beginning to hurt him a little bit. Uh-oh, gonna make it. Is he gonna make it?
Not a bad pull at all for the old timers.
Think he's a little short, but he's definitely in the money tonight.
That reminded me of the old tortoise and the hare. It's not the quickest, it's who goes the farthest, and it seemed like as he was chugging down the track, he was really going to make a run at the Miracle Maker that has the lead up till now. But as you can see, they're scurrying to measure how far the old timers went. He is the defending champion in the Superstock competition, so he certainly knows what he's doing. Now we'll take a look at it again, and kind of a chug. Look at the wheels and how they work.
Getting a little bounce out of the right front, Ken, but here again, every time the tires goes around, he's just gaining ground on it. They're past the 150 mark, down almost to that 174, 4 3/4.
Well, the old timers make a pretty good run at the whippersnapper, 163 feet and 1/4. So the old timer will come in second, and a nice pull tonight for Arnold Hudson. Well, Jason, who has been known to play with a few things, has brought one of his toys tonight. Jason's toy. That's Joe Brown. No, not the former comedian, but the driver from Whitman, Arizona, in a 69 Ford. 429 cubic inches underneath that hood. There's Jason backing up, ready to hook on.
Marked beat, 174, 4 3/4. Again, the track is got so much sand in it that it doesn't go back together very well at all. We saw our first puller go to the sled tonight, and you know, so far has put about 10 feet on everyone. I think he did it because the track was packed better on that pass than anyone else. You notice he's got the weights out front. He's weighing 5,500 pounds. That's with the weights, with the driver, and all the fuel.
Looks a little jakey the way he's got it.
Well, they actually have a big, there's a hook on the end of it. They hang on to the weight bar, and if it falls off, it's cause for disqualification.
Here we go. Jason's toy. He's got the green flag, and he's on his way. Pretty good hook.
Got a good hook, some good ground speed. He could be the last man to do it. He's starting from the back, and
oh, it gave out on him.
The truck laid down. Ken, I honestly thought he had this thing won.
He may still have it won. We'll see what the measurement says, but boy, he looked like he was going great guns, and then at about the 150 mark, it just died on him.
I don't know exactly what happened to the truck, but it really hooked well, had a lot of ground speed, and as you mentioned, at 150, let's get tired and quit.
Yeah, went south big time. We'll look at it again, and perhaps we can pick something up. It is smoking, as you can see from the back, but I'm not sure that's the cause of it.
I don't think that's the problem, Ken. I think that's just a little bit of oil maybe getting on the headers as it goes down the track. But the truck running well right in here, but all of a sudden, you just see the truck quit. See the front end come down, it quits pulling. I'm not sure it dies. It could have jumped out of gear even though it didn't pop like that, and the motor didn't rev up. It just seemed to lay down, stop on the track. He was a beautiful job of pulling.
Joe Brown does not look like a happy camper as he struggles with the wheel and leaves. And you can see him motioning 168, 6 3/4. So Joe Brown, good enough for second, but small consolation when it looked like first was easily in his grasp. So here's how it shakes down in the Super Stock tonight. In third place, Arnold Hudson, the defending points champ, and the old-timer Jason's Toy. He had a chance to take the big enchilada, but it doesn't come down for Joe Brown. The winner and champion tonight, the Miracle Maker. Put your hands on the television set and say hallelujah to Jerry Litchfield, 174 feet, 4 3/4 inches. All right, we're ready for the modified truck, 6,200 pounds worth each and every time down the track. We've got a good list of competitors tonight, and a lot from here in the Phoenix area, not the least of which is Brian Dick in Teenager's Revenge. I would imagine that's probably what, an empty tank of gas on a Saturday morning after a Friday night out, huh?
Oh, no doubt about it. Ken, this truck up till recently ran the Super Stock class, but they added another carburetor, changed the headers on it, swooped them up, and changed the weight on it a little bit. He still runs the DOT tires, the street legal tires, so doesn't run the puller tires like the rest of the trucks you'll see.
76 Ford, and he lists the engine as a Cobra Jet. Here it comes down the track, Teenager's Revenge. Mike, mid-course maneuver from right side of the track to left side. Obviously, he was looking to cut the grain a little bit.
Well, no doubt, and he doesn't have much of a tire, Ken. That's probably his weakest point right now on the truck is the set of tires that he would like to have, you know, to give him some more distance on it. He's definitely got motor if he can just get tired. He doesn't have enough tire to get a good bite with. This is a street tire. Probably the only modified truck in America running on a street tire, but 2 carburetors, and that changed him into the modified class. He's going to have to, you know, get a different tire on it, and this Teenage Revenge will be someone tough to handle.
144 feet, 8 1/2 inches. The Teenager's Revenge comes home to haunt the parent. Mike, as you know, and I think anyone knows by now, if they have followed us on the truck pulling circuit, that the track used is dirt indigenous to the area. Now, this is dirt that's right out of the desert here in Arizona. And I think, as we will see as the night progresses, it will not come together very well. It seems to have a sandy consistency to it, so the early competitors should have the edge.
All of the track here is sand. Almost complete sand track, as you can very well tell, Ken. Look at the sides, and you'll see how it's flaking off and how fine it is down the edge of the track. It'll look good, but it won't go back together. It will not pack and get tight again.
Well, backing in for his run at the track is the boss, Bruce Springsteen. No, just kidding. Gary Dick behind the wheel from Phoenix, Arizona. It's a 70 Ford, 429 through the hood, and there, as you see, is the gas tank, or where they put the fuel, sitting out in front.
Good work, Ken.
Actually, it seems to be protruding from the front. Most of them just sit right up on the grill. This one's out a little bit.
Well, it helps move the weight. 2 hooks, bottom one's safety, top one's pulling. Kill switch on the little table at the very top. This is Brian Dick's father.
So maybe Brian was the teenager seeking revenge here on Gary, who will wait for the green flag. He's got it, and it's at his discretion. This is the boss, our second competitor of the night in the modified division.
I think we'll see a good hook here. This truck seems to be running pretty well. Doesn't cut his tires, runs them pretty much stock design.